What up? It's Dashi.
I'm scared.
And welcome to Whoop 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 Whoop.
Jordan, I'm selling out shows. Made a call following like Jim Jones.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy K.
And your girl L.
And we're K and L.
What's going on, you guys? So today we are back with another video for you. Guys, he wants to show you his jeans. That's why he's standing up right now.
Oh, these? I thought you'd never ask. We're gonna tone it down. Get a little more serious because this is a serious situation.
So, as you guys know, a lot has been going on in our world recently that personally I am very ashamed of, and it is definitely very scary. Honestly, there's really no good way to segue into this, but it's something that I think that even though we have not a huge platform yet, we still do have, you know, a lot of you guys. We know a lot of you guys. Some of you guys just watch us on here, but you watch our videos, you enjoy them, and we want to spread some awareness and shed some light on the whole situation that's been going on recently with George Floyd, Black Lives Matter, all the protests, rioting, looting, all of that. We just kind of want to cover all of that for you guys.
So, I guess I'm gonna start and talk about like how I've been feeling about it, like what I've been thinking about it lately and stuff like that. But I'm gonna tell you guys like how I found out about it as well, so that you guys understand like where I'm coming from. So, it was just one night I was with my lady here, my lady friend here. I was just with her and went downstairs because I guess we were like, I don't know, watching.
Probably grabbing food.
Yeah, we were grabbing food
because we're kind of fat.
we're watching anime. But I'm walking downstairs and I see on the news George Floyd had been killed by Derek Chavez. They never put that on the news, but like I looked it up and stuff after and stuff. You know, in my mind it was like, all right, this is another black guy getting killed injusticeably, you know, like injusticeably, whatever, in a way that like promotes injustice. For some reason it like really hit me, and I'm sure it hit a lot of you guys because you saw the way that it happened. So there's one officer there, there's another officer there, and I believe there's two more officers around, 2 or 3 more officers around, just sitting there while the guy literally has his knee on the dude's neck. Like, how is that cool? You know what I mean? That's not cool.
If you guys haven't seen the video, I highly recommend looking it up because I don't think anybody can understand the seriousness of it unless you've like looked up the video.
I'm sure by now all of you guys have seen it, to be honest.
Honestly, we were taking time to process this.
Yeah.
Like, especially like from the beginning when it happened, I know that my baby has been kind of like thinking through things, just going through a rough time, and obviously me being his girlfriend and stuff, it's like I've wanted to be there for him and support him in this time.
Right.
So yeah.
With just after that situation, after I seen that on the internet, I started doing, or not on the internet, on the news, I started doing a lot of research. And I found out that the guy Derek Chavez had 10 complaints as an officer in office. There were 10 prior complaints to the situation at hand towards that guy. And on top of that, he had been in situations where violence was necessary. He had basically killed 4 other people, and he had complaints on the way he handled those situations. The precinct there, in my opinion, the precinct there is doing a lousy job, because if you look at a guy who's been in tons of different situations where he's dealt with crime, okay, you have to look, as a precinct, you have to look at the way that they handled that and deduce whether this guy can work in there or not, you know what I mean? I would assume, right? After I had done all this research, right? This was that same night, after I had done all this research, I literally like shut off.
He did. I'd never seen him react like that before. Like, you can always like hear how things like impact people, but when you actually like see it firsthand, it like really puts it into perspective, like how serious of an issue this is. And like, I mean, I've always like known it, and I've always been that type of person where no matter race, skin tone, religion, sexuality, like I would treat everybody the exact same. And I think that we are all equal. I think that we're all made in God's image. So to me, like, I've never had a problem with that, but I'm just saying that, like, sometimes you never really know what people are going through or the things that people have to deal with in your life that you see every day. Seeing it firsthand definitely impacted me.
Right.
So.
And the sad thing of it is, this is not the only example of this happening.
Yeah.
I mean, in the same month, there had been 4 other situations that were injustice.
Yeah, personally, I saw a lot of other situations like this leading up, and then what happened to George Floyd was kind of like the icing on the cake. I feel like this helped.
Everybody, I think everybody noticed that this is really wrong, and people are really standing up and basically showing that, like, we're not gonna have this in our country. You know, this is supposed to be America. Like, everybody, regardless of race, if you are an American, you're an American. You're supposed to be treated as one. Why are you taking away a man's opportunity? Why are we doing this? The officers are supposed to be the people who are protecting us. Why is our protection taking away our opportunity to live? And the thing is, people say, okay, it's not all the officers who are in office. Obviously, it's not all the officers. Most officers are nice, you know, a lot of them are nice. But why do we have, like, worldwide a connotation that is negative towards officers? If I get pulled over right now down the street, why am I uncomfortable? He's supposed to be my protection. Why is this a thing? You know what I mean? It's not even just black people. I know Black Lives Matter, obviously, all lives matter, but not just black people. Why is my girlfriend getting uncomfortable when she gets pulled over? If she gets pulled over, she hasn't even been pulled over, and she's uncomfortable with getting pulled over.
And I can only imagine I'm uncomfortable.
How you can only imagine the people of color, which obviously, like, it's not all the cases of people of color, but people of color, the situations that happen, that is injustice, it's basically highlighted. It's on news, it's everywhere. For us, it's like highlighted. Like, we see it and it's happening to us. And you could argue that injustice happens to more white people than it does black people, but I swear it's way more highlighted when it comes to a black person. We all are afraid during this time, if I'm gonna be honest. I was afraid. That's why I shut down, because I had so many thoughts in my mind. Like,
it's scary. I mean,
am I gonna be able to walk out and be safe? Like, every time I walk out, like, am I safe? Why do I have to feel unsafe just going to the corner store? You know what I mean? And if we want to talk about the executive head, I was looking for like reaffirmation that we would do something to our police system, and we would basically have the training be different, and to make sure that these officers are really getting the training that they need, and they're the people that we need to be officers. A lot of these officers, honestly, they're rage monsters. You know what I mean? They're rage monsters. They have mental imbalances too, some of them. And the training, and I feel like the training that we're giving officers is not specifically, at least not enough, specifically targeted to, like, them being our actual protection. I understand that justice is gonna happen to the guy who killed George Floyd, but what I need to understand is, what are we gonna do different to make sure that officers are well equipped to handle situations like this in a completely different way?
A little disclaimer is that, like, we're not saying that every cop is bad, because I know that there are great cops, but so not all cops are bad. We're by no means saying that, but I do think nowadays, though, it is definitely a trend for police officers. We feel unprotected. It's not that, but I feel like most police officers are on a power trip, and it's kind of like they forget that they're here, what they're here for, and to help us to do. And I think they need to realize that we all just need to be one. We need to work on protecting everybody and treating everybody equally, regardless of skin tone or no matter what it is. Like, police officers need to be there for people, not be there to scare them, not be there to cause issues or to make matters worse for their citizens. So I think it's something that, as, like, our whole world, our society, we just need to work on this, because I'm tired of it. And you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be scared for my kids one day. I don't. And so something needs to change, something needs to happen.
It's too much of this happening. You know what I mean? It's too much of this being highlighted. Our officers shouldn't, I swear, 90% of the officers should be really good officers. And in my opinion, I don't feel like 90% of the officers are good officers.
The bad outweighs the good most times, which
and they all
sucks,
have
but
weapons.
another thing I want to address too during this time is because obviously, like, I'm always on social media. Like, I always see a lot of stuff. I'm very in tune with everything, by the way. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know ever since the day I found out about this, I have been posting stuff on my Instagram story, supporting it, checking on my friends, making sure everybody's good in this time. So, something that kind of bothers me in this time is that because clearly I'm white, it's like I feel like sometimes people make me feel bad for wanting to stand up for what is right. I don't care if I'm black, white, Hispanic, Asian, I don't care what I am. Right now, like, with what's happened, we all need to stand together and be one and support each other in this time. It pisses me off when people think that I don't have the right to stand up for what I believe in and to stand up for change. You know, not just because of my boyfriend, but because in general, like, because I care about all people. I've never cared about skin color. I've never looked at it that way. I've been raised not to look at it that way. And I think that every parent in the world, if not, you are doing a crappy job. You need to teach your kids that everybody is equal. There's nobody that's better than anybody else. No race that's inferior, superior to any other. And I just encourage you guys to not look at it that way too. I know that right now it's easy to be offended by every little thing, but if you see one of your friends who's not doing a good job at, you know, standing for what's right, you can have a nice conversation with them. It doesn't need to be a race battle. We are all one, in my opinion, and I think we all just need to stand together. And the people who clearly are going to show their true colors and not do something about what's happening, then maybe you just don't need them in your life, honestly. Try to talk to them, but if they don't want to listen, if they don't want to be supportive and stand with you, then maybe they're not true friends, you know?
At the end of the day, right, we all have the same blood. Well, not the same blood, but we all have blood coursing through our veins.
Yeah.
Whichever blood type you are, regardless, you have blood, you have a heart, you have a mind. All right, God has given us these things that are literally the same for everybody. He's given us so much guidance, and he's given us the tools to be able to treat each other the way that people should be treated. When I see somebody, especially somebody who's supposed to be protecting us, doing the opposite, making harm, it's really scary. And it's, to be honest, it's frightening. It's really frightening. Everybody, we all need to come together, which I've been really seeing a lot.
Which is really good.
We all need to come together, but not to cause violence. Like, don't be looting stores.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
I understand. People can, like, they feel like they're not heard, and they feel like they need to do this as an example so that they can be heard. That is, two wrongs don't make a right. Don't be looting stores.
We gotta be the bigger person.
We have to be voicing our voice. We have to use our voice. So we need to check ourselves, and we need to check our motives, and we also need to check our government to see like what are they gonna do different.
For the record, we are very big fans of all the protesting going on. I think it's amazing to see our society, like our age group, coming together and like making a difference. I think it's amazing. If you're protesting in a safe and a healthy way, you're being safe, because, you know, obviously Corona is kind of dying down, but it's still around. So if you're doing it in a safe way, if you're not causing violence or making anybody feel bad, I think protesting is an amazing thing. Anything you can do in our society, like donate any money to these like charities going on for Black Lives Matter, protesting, anything that you guys can do is very, very helpful. Even if it's just being kind to somebody today. Even if you have no money to give, just being kind to everybody.
Show some love. We all need love, especially during this time.
Guys, our world sucks. Like, if we all come together, we can help each other and make each other's days a little bit easier. There's just so much hate. There's no need for so much hate.
And that's the vibes that we're spreading for the rest of this 2020, because honestly, this year has sucked.
Yeah, it's crazy, guys. But honestly, I would just encourage everybody in this time just to, if you are unaware of what's going on in our world, I think instead of speaking out on things you don't know about, I'd recommend educating yourself before saying anything. So no matter what side of the fence you are on, whether you're unsure about all this or whether you're like us and you're very passionate about everyone being treated equally, educate yourself.
I feel like everybody should have taken time to step back, look at this situation, and properly examine it. Because if you're saying stuff that you don't know what you're saying, you're just saying random stuff about the situation, and you don't know what you're actually saying, like, what's the point of you saying something to begin with?
Everything you say nowadays is, as much as this sucks, and you know, I'm not a fan of this, but
right.
everything you say nowadays can be taken a completely different way. So
right.
just don't say the first thing that comes to your mind all the time. Just educate yourself, think to yourself, maybe talk to somebody about your opinion before voicing it online for everybody to see, because people are going through a really rough time right now. And the truth of the matter is, this could be our last day on earth. I mean, we don't know. So I think every single day we just need to work on loving everybody equally, treating everybody with kindness, and just educating ourselves on current events so we can be the change. I think the biggest thing right now too, guys, is just everybody who's watching this, stay strong. I know it's a really tough time for all of us right now, but just remember that what you say matters, and use your voice for positivity. If you're gonna put negativity out there, then why waste your time? There's no point in putting negative energy into this world. There is not.
Please don't.
So,
even when you're talking about the officers, show positivity. Have in the back of your mind and show that you want change. But don't do it the wrong way.
And we are with you guys. We stand with you guys. KNL, we support everybody 100%, no matter what race you are, no matter what language you speak, what color you are, what religion you are.
Everybody.
We love everybody so much.
You see, we're black and white.
Because color doesn't matter.
But I shouldn't feel safer driving in my car with her than by myself.
It's sad.
Why is that a thing?
It's tough. And it's hard as a girlfriend too, because I hear some of these worries, these fears. And it's really tough for me. You know what I mean? Like I've always hated the idea of racism, but when you witness it firsthand, when your second family is of color, you see everything in a whole different light, and it honestly, like, it's eye-opening. We stand with you guys, we love you guys, and just make smart choices, be safe if you go protest. Don't cause trouble.
Please don't.
Yeah.
And yeah, without further ado, it's been your boy K.
And your girl L, and we out. Peace.